Status report on King Abdullah's peace proposal, March 31st, 2002, in Beirut, unanimously endorsed by the 22 Arab countries, members of the League of Arab States. Where is it, and why hasn't it been more positively received by the Israelis on one hand and elements of the United States on the other?
Well, the Arab Peace Initiative, which was adopted by the Arab Summit in Beirut, remains on the table. It has now become the key reference point for for the settlement of the Arab-Israeli conflict. Not only was it adopted unanimously by the 22 Arab countries, by all of the members of the Arab League, but also by the countries of the Organization of Islamic Conference at the extraordinary summit in Mecca held in December of 2005. So not only would it bring peace with all of the Arab countries, but all of the Muslim countries have committed themselves to peace. We are puzzled that the Israelis have not responded favorably to this. The peace initiative has all the elements for settlement. It's land for peace, it's just settlement of the refugees, it's a peace and normal relations with all that entails between Israel and the Arab countries. And the answer probably ought to be directed to our colleagues in parts of the U.S. government in terms of why they haven't. But in all fairness to the Obama administration, I believe that from the very beginning, President Obama has made references to the Arab Peace Initiative and to its importance. I believe in one of his very first speeches, he commended the peace initiative and saw it as a basis for resolving the conflict. But what we need is a will to reach a compromise, which the Arab world has displayed, but we don't see on the Israeli side. We need a flexibility, which the Arab world has shown, but we have not yet seen on the Israeli side. There has to be a strategic decision made that peace is an objective. I believe the Arab world has done this by agreeing to a two-state settlement based on the 67 lines, an end of claims and a beginning of a state of normal relations. We haven't really seen that on the other side. What we see is a focus on details, process rather than substance. We believe, and when I say we, the Arab League as a whole, and the Arab League has made this point repeatedly, that it is important to define the objective of the talks and then invite the parties to negotiate towards that objective so that it is clear to everybody where we will be going and where we will end up. And I believe that the Arab Peace Initiative has defined this objective, and what we need is the will to negotiate towards that objective. And peacemaking has never been easy, and I don't believe it ever will be easy, and it needs strength and resolve, and it needs flexibility. I think in terms of the efforts of the Obama administration, there is no doubt in our minds that they have sincerely and very diligently tried to move the process forward, but our doubts lie with the other side.
Thank you. We have a question about Saudi Arabia's concerns with Iran, Iraq, and/or Yemen. You can do all three of them if you like, or take the one that's of greatest concern to Saudi Arabia, perhaps to dispel some of the myths or the stereotypes that people report about Saudi Arabia's views, needs, concerns on those three issues.
Well, all three countries are neighbors of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and very important neighbors. Our view in terms of Iran is that we hope that the Iranians will abide by international law and subject their nuclear program to inspections. We don't deny their right to have peaceful nuclear energy, so long as they live up to their obligations to the international protocols that define how you exercise this right. We believe that, more broadly speaking, that all of the Middle East ought to be a region free from all types of weapons of mass destruction, including nuclear weapons. With regards to Iraq, we feel for our Iraqi brothers. We feel that Iraq is going through a very difficult and very challenging situation. The lack of formation of a government is a matter of concern, not only to us, but to a lot of other countries. We believe that the Iraqis have a constitutional process, and the constitutional process specifies how you arrive at the formation of a government, and we would hope that the Iraqis will follow that constitutional process and that they will be able to put together a government fairly expeditiously that represents that is representative of all of Iraq. Iraq has a challenging future ahead of it, but we have no doubt that the energy of the Iraqi people and the resources of the Iraqi nation will help them go back to normalcy. With regard to Yemen, Saudi Arabia has very close and very historic ties with Yemen. Yemen is facing many challenges and deserves our unwavering support. The Yemeni government is facing challenges, and primarily one of the Al-Qaeda trying to establish itself in Yemen, and we must do all we can to deny them that ability. Yemen faces economic developmental problems, which we believe the world must come together to support them on. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been and continues to be one of the largest supporters in terms of economic assistance to our Yemeni brothers, and we will continue to do so, and we hope, God willing, that Yemen will be able to overcome the economic challenges that it faces and emerge with a more prosperous future.